Ito ang mainit na balita na siyang dapat malaman ng taong bayan at tila usap-usapan ngayon sa mundo ng social media. Senate Minority Leader na si Alan Cayetano nanindigang iligal ang pagkaaresto kay former President Rodrigo Duterte at tila matapang na sinagot ang lahat ng katanungan at pag-uusisa ni Senator Ping Lacson. Pero bago tayo magpatuloy, kung bago ka pa lang sa aking channel ay huwag mo nang kalimutang mag-like, comment at mag-subscribe para lagi kang updated sa mga susunod nating video. Pinangunahan nga ni Senate Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano ang plenary discussion kaugnay ng Senate Resolution number 307 na naglalayong ipahayag ang sense of the Senate na protektahan ang mga Pilipino laban sa extraordinary rendition at tiyakin ang kanilang karapatan sa due process. Ayon pa kay Cayetano, ang bottom line ay kahit sino pa ang maaaring humarap sa lokal na korte bago sila tanggapin o ilipat sa ibang bansa. Binibigyang diin nito ang kahalagahan ng legal safeguards para sa mga Pilipino upang hindi malabag ang kanilang karapatan sa patas na proseso. Itinuturing ng Senado na mahalaga ang resolution upang maiwasan ang mga insidente kung saan ang mga mamamayan ay maaaring ilipat sa ibang bansa na hindi dumadaan sa tamang legal na proseso, lalo na sa mga kasong may kaugnayan sa international na legal enforcement o extradition, katulad na lamang umano ng nangyari noon kay dating Pangulong Duterte na kinidnap mismo ng ating pamahalaan at sapilitang ipinadala sa ICC na hindi umano dumadaan sa due process at hindi man lang nabigyan ng pagkakataon na dumaan sa lokal na korte ng ating bansa. At para sa buong detalye ng balita, narito't panoorin natin ang full video.
I'd like to be clarified first on the definition of extraordinary rendition. How would you define in your own terms, extraordinary rendition? Medyo matapang lang po, natatapangan ako doon sa extraordinary rendition. At the proper time, maybe I can introduce some amendments to just soften the language used.
Actually, Mr. President, I had the same reaction when my staff showed me the draft because some of them have exposure in international law. So, vis-a-vis ordinary rendition. So, ordinarily, a local court issues the warrant, and then if there's an extradition request, then based on the extradition request, it's given to a local court. The local court will then issue its arrest warrant and then would allow the extradition. But for countries who allows extraordinary rendition, so some countries do not allow, for example, Venezuela, pero kinuha pa rin yung leader nila. So I think that was the intent to just emphasize that if it's not an extradition request, it will be a extraordinary rendition of arresting and what's the better word of exporting or of extraditing a Filipino?
Yeah, I have a definition of extraordinary rendition. Refers to the transfer of a person, usually a suspected terrorist or criminal, from one country to another without formal legal procedures, often to a country where the person may be interrogated outside normal judicial safeguards. So it's quite strong, Mr. President.
Yes.
And if we're dealing with the ICC, I don't think the proper terms or any country that we have extradition treaty with, mukhang I think we should change the language from extraordinary rendition to another.
Yeah. Just to explain, Mr. President, and then I have no objection to changing it. It is really used by defense lawyers, not only in the ICC but other courts, when someone is taken from their country and brought to the international courts without first passing the local courts. But as you said, Mr. President, it's not only kasi may connotation by denotation. So I would be amendable to protect all Filipinos from extradition, but extradition in the general sense, not in the extradition defined in our law vis-a-vis. The complication here, Mr.
Why
President.
not just use rendition? Because rendition simply means handing over a suspect to another jurisdiction, whether it's another country or an international court. I remember, Mr. President, in the Anti-Terrorism Act which I sponsored, there's a provision there prohibiting extraordinary rendition because we are referring to a terrorist. Kasi ang connotation pagka sinabing extraordinary rendition, parang kinidnap ng CIA tapos dadalhin sa kanila para interrogate
Yes.
without going through the normal judicial processes.
Point is well taken, and I see. Mr. President, would the term extrajudicial rendition be acceptable? Because basically, the point of the resolution is that kung sumama kusa yung in-extradite, no problem. Pero kung tingin niya dapat punta siya sa korte, hindi dapat extrajudicial, dapat may judicial process. So would
Correct.
extrajudicial rendition...
As in the case of the former president.
I'm amendable to taking out that paragraph because I want to look at this prospectively. I think there will be some political color if we
Yeah.
talk about what happened in the past. And besides, Mr. President, that case is with the Supreme Court. So the bottom line of this resolution is that if for whatever reason, a mistaken identity, sinasabi ng tao, hindi ako yan, sinasabi ng tao, he's innocent or wala tayong treaty doon, he can run to court before he is removed from the country. Yun lang naman po
Thank you,
ang
Mr.
intention,
President. Maybe we can, we can use extrajudicial rendition because if the person arrested by the custodial state will not go through the local court, at least for authenticity. My next question, Mr. President, is: are you familiar with the Article 59 of the Rome Statute?
Yes, Mr. President.
It's very clear here, no?
In-
I'll just read for the record some of the salient provisions here. No? Number one, a state party which has received a request for provisional arrest or for arrest and surrender shall immediately take steps to arrest the person. That's a given. Ano? Number two, a person arrested shall be brought promptly before the competent judicial authority in the custodial state, which shall determine in accordance with the law of that state that the warrant applies to that person, the person has been arrested in accordance with the proper process, and the person's rights have been respected. Meron pa nga rito na the person arrested shall have the right to apply to the competent authority in the custodial state for interim release. Pwede pa nga mag-request ng interim release eh. But of course, pag ginrant yung interim release, the custodial state will have to inform the ICC or the International Court. So it's very clear even in the Rome Statute na hindi pwede yung basta pagka-aresto, diretso sa aeroplano para i-deliver. And it's the Rome Statute. It's
I agree with your interpretation, Mr. President. Not only as a senator but as the former chief PNP. Ang point ko lang kasi dito, Mr. President, in the previous constitutions, the Constitution allowed other authorities to issue warrant of arrest. But in the 87 Constitution, it's very clear, it's only a judge. And kailangan may personal
Knowledge.
examination.
Yeah, personal examination.
So, if you look at the ICC comprehensively and of course Article 59, ang keyword dyan is complementarity. Dapat nagko-complement yung dalawa. So, if you look at UK, Canada, South Korea, for example, Mr. President, Argentina, Paraguay, South Africa, all of them have provisions, whether it's arrest to extradition or whether it's surrender, it gives the individual being arrested an opportunity to run to their local courts. So,
I agree. I completely agree, Mr. President, because it is an utter disrespect to the local court or local authorities to just, without passing through the normal judicial process here, at least for authentication, for verification, the person that has been issued the warrant of arrest will just be brought out of the country. So, but some legal experts are invoking RA 9851, yung sa Crimes Against Humanity. And mind you, Section 17, malinaw din po rito na hindi naman po mandatory. Hindi ito yung kailangan pagka nahuli, kailangan i-turn over. Kasi hindi po siya lang ginamit eh. In the interest of justice, the relevant Philippine authorities may dispense with investigation or prosecution of a crime punishable under this act if another court or international tribunal is already conducting that's another matter. Ano? Instead, the authorities may surrender or extradite suspected or accused persons in the Philippines to the appropriate international court, if any, or to another state pursuant to the applicable not applicable here, no, the extradition, because we're not dealing here with the extradition. So hindi naman po mandatorily expressed, no, or hindi mandatory yung sinasabi ng 9851 na i-turn over.
well, Mr. President, 2 points. One, in the Pangilinan versus Cayetano case, it was made very clear that
Who's that Cayetano, Mr. President?
I was Secretary of Foreign Affairs at that time. So my name was by the process of the Supreme Court, but actually yung Solgen naman po ang nag-file talaga ng legal argument, Mr. President. And then, of course, it was Senator Kiko Pangilinan. So, of course, the main issue was whether or not the President can get out of a treaty without concurrence of the Senate. But meron pong discussion doon na sinasabi na ang treaty kailangan complies with the Constitution. So, any treaty, for example, Mr. President, that says that anyone can arrest anyone but hindi dadaan sa judge, that's unconstitutional. So, if you look at all other countries, ine-emphasize nila yung Constitution din nila. And if you look at the Rome Statute, wala namang conflict po eh. Sinasabi din ng Rome conflict nandun eh. Secondly, Mr. President, of course, we entered the Rome Statute and the ICC, we ratified it after we passed this law eh. So, meaning even assuming you can surrender someone, that doesn't mean that he cannot go to the judge and question whether... So for example, Mr. President, hinuli si Joel Villanueva pero sinabi si Win Gatchalian siya.
Yes.
I mean, it might be funny to us and we might know the difference between the two gentlemen. Minsan yung media nagkakamali. But what if you had actual twins, di ba? Si Alan Tan and Ping Tan, and ang hinuhuli si Alan, si Ping ang nahuli. Di ba? Shouldn't he have the opportunity to go before the court and say, we might have the same DNA, baka magkamukha kami, but that's not me, that's my brother. So this is the most simple case I can think of. And some people will say na hindi na kailangan to kasi umalis na tayo sa ICC. But remember, Mr. President, so far, no, ang sabi ng ICC, basta't yung period na may jurisdiction pa sila. So kung bigla tayong may nakitang mass grave dito at pinagbintangan yung ibang leader ng ibang insurgency, pwede na lang silang damputin. Or for example, sa Marawi, what if someone shows the ICC certain footages na hindi kompleto at pinalabas ay may binomba na eskwelahan or ospital at crimes against humanity to or war crimes to? Will we not allow our generals to go to our court muna? I mean, that's one reason the United States and China, Russia have not ratified or have not joined the ICC because nga of the wartime actions of their military. But in our context, Mr. President, recently, even former Justice Secretary Aguirre was named dun sa co-conspirator. Ang lapit na ho sa presidente nun kasi alter ego na yun eh. So for example, no, and I hanga ako sa tao na to, no, but and there's no imputation of anything to him, but for example, Mr. President, Secretary Anyo is now our national security advisor, but he was the ILG during Marawi. I cannot see a situation where the ICC wants to arrest him and bigla na lang natin siyang isasakay sa plano without him being allowed to go to court, no, or to the Solgen to what you call this, to make representations in our local court. So, doon papunta, Mr. President, yung aking thinking sa resolution na to.
Yes. You mentioned mistaken identity because of some lookalikes, ano? And you also mentioned Vitaliano Aguirre. And I have a staff member who looks like Vitaliano Aguirre. He's here.
Oo naman.
Mr. President, Vince Dizon is also here.
So, talagang totoo yung sinasabi nyo. Kailangan talaga dumaan sa local court para man lang ma-authenticate yung real identity ng person who is subject of a warrant of arrest. And are you also familiar with Article 89 of the Rome Statute?
And not so much with Article 89.
Dito po, ganun din. Wala namang konflikto sa article kanina, sa 59. Or what's that? Anyway, nakalagay dito, the court, meaning the international court, may transmit a request for the arrest and surrender of a person together with the material supporting the request outlined in Article 91, that's another article, to any state on the territory of which that person may be found and shall request the cooperation of that state in the arrest and surrender. Anyway, minention din dito na state parties shall, in accordance with the provisions of this part and the procedure under their national law. No? When the national law that is referred to here is 9851, which I mentioned earlier, hindi naman po mandatory yung...
Sir President, I agree with the gentleman, Senate President Pro Tem, and I think it falls upon the Supreme Court to come out with its rules. Yung isang reason po nagbunsad sa akin na i-draft tong resolution na to, nung in-announce ng ICC na meron silang tinatawag na secret warrant of arrest. And I understand. Kasi nga, if you're dealing with war crimes or with genocide, Mr. President, and you're talking about dictators that have billions of dollars and can hide all around the world, you don't want to give them advance notice. But on the other hand, Mr. President, if you look at our Constitution, the person has the right to see the warrant and to be informed of the charges. And my interpretation is a local judge has to see that. So for me, there's no conflict if the Supreme Court has certain rules regarding that. No? So meaning, halimbawa po Mr. President, pag dumating yung request dito, mapunta sa isang judge, he's not allowed to discuss it or announce it publicly until he issues the warrant of arrest and then an operation for the arrest. Ang point lang sa akin, Mr. President, before he is removed from this country, ma-redress niya pa rin yung sarili niya sa korte.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President. And as I mentioned earlier, I fully support this Senate resolution, of course, subject to style,
Yes,
based
thank
on
you,
what
Mr.
we have agreed earlier. So that's all, Mr. President, and I will continue to support this resolution. Thank you very much.
I thank you, Mr. President, for that interpellation, and maybe we can look at the whereas clause that can be interpreted as political and not only subject to style but also in substance, so that this can be a bipartisan measure that will ensure the constitutional rights of all Filipinos. Thank you very much, Senator Lacson, for that interpellation.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and Madam President, and to our dear colleague. Senator Cayetano, our Minority Floor Leader, I just got a text message. There's just some proposed amendments. There are no longer any more interpellations, so maybe we can close the period of interpellation. And on Monday, I believe the Senate President would like to propose amendments together with Senator Lacson and Senator Kiko Pangilinan as well. So if it's all right, we can close the period of interpellation.
And Mr. President, our staff can also
Work together.
discuss so that we can consult everyone and reword it. I think it's a good day and a good opportunity to just clarify this. And may I just emphasize again, in the end, unless kasi we amend this Republic Act or come up with a new law, which will take time, it really falls, this is really a sense of the Senate. And I think one of the addresses will really be the Honorable Supreme Court. They did come out with rules for extradition. But I think there was a statement that it might not be applicable to rules of surrender under this RA. So maybe some clarity will come out of this. So again, thank you, Majority Leader, and to
Thank you.
our Madam Senate President.
Ito po, isang taon na pong nasa The Hague si PRRD. At nakakalungkot man, yung matanda ay ginawa ng lahat para sa bayan natin, tapos trinaydor pa siya nitong si Bongbong Marcos. Bagamat ganun man, ito kumakalat ito yung mga sabi-sabi. Kaya nga, tanong ko sa inyo, nadinig nyo na rin ba ito? Dahil nakarating sa akin, hindi po natin alam kung ito ay totoo, pero malaki ang tsansa, di umano, na makalaya na si PRRD. Sana tama yung nakarating na balita sa atin, at kung nakarating man sa inyo, magpatuloy tayong umasa at huwag tayong mawawala ng pag-asa sa pangyayaring ito.
Isang taon na mula nang maganap ito sa loob ng isang eroplano sa NAIA.
A warrant of arrest. So, you will just have to kill me. Kung hindi ako papayag, kung kakampi ka dyan sa mga puti.
Si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte na galing noon sa Hong Kong. Inaresto dahil sa kinakaharap na kasong crimes against humanity sa International Criminal Court. Sa kauna-unahang pagkakataon, humarap ang isang dating Pangulo ng Pilipinas sa ICC Pre-Trial Chamber noong March 14, 2025.
Ang Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Isang taon matapos maaresto si Duterte, nagsama-sama ang mga taga-suporta niya sa isang misa sa Davao City at ipinagdasal ang ligtas na pagpapauwi sa dating Pangulo.
It is unthinkable that a government, no matter the political differences with the administration, would send a citizen to a foreign jurisdiction to be detained and tried for crimes against humanity.
Ako, ito sakto yung sinabi ni BP Sara. Alam nyo, hindi namin nasasabi to dahil kami maka-Duterte. Kung just in case may mangyari dito, mangyari ito kay Bongbong Marcos, itaga nyo sa bato. Tandaan nyo itong sasabihin ko rito. Hindi rin ako papayag. Sasabihin ko mali din yun. Bakit nyo diyan iimbestigahan? Dito nangyari. Filipino citizen. Dapat Pilipino ang mag-iimbestiga. Filipino court ang may jurisdiction. Yun po ang issue dito. Hindi issue dito kung Duterte yan o Bongbong Marcos. Kaya baka sasabihin nyo, bias ako. Hindi po ako bias. Kahit kanino po. Yan lang naman ang hinihingi eh. Kung may kailangan panagutan si PRRD, panagutan ni PRRD dito. Hindi doon. May punto po talaga. Sakto yung sinasabi ni BP Sara. Kaya po yung nangyari na yan ay lehitimong kidnapping yan. At ako, nagre-request ako sa iyo, BP Sara. Panagutin mo ang mga taong involved dito. Kasi hindi po pwede na hindi matuturuan ng leksyon yan dahil magpapaulit-ulit po yan. Tuwing kalaban sa politika, ipadadala sa ibang bansa. Hindi na po iiral ang due process sa Pilipinas. Yan po ay nagmimistulang martial law. Hindi mo na pahaharapin sa korte. I-airport to airport mo lang. Parang nangyari kay Ninoy Aquino. Meron talagang trend itong Marcos patungkol sa airport. Si Ninoy Aquino pinatay sa airport. So from ibang bansa, dinala si Ninoy Aquino sa kabilang buhay. Ganyan din ang ginawa kay PRRD. Galing sa ibang bansa, tapos dinala diretso sa The Hague from the Philippines. Para hindi ito maulit, BP Sara, request ng taong bayan. It's not because of your father, it's because we deserve it. Soberanya ng Pilipinas, panagutin mo lahat ng involved dito. Hindi lang yung mismong nagdala, kung hindi sino ang kasangkot dito.
Na walang basihan at walang maayos na witnesses.
Ayon kay Vice President Sara Duterte, hindi sila titigil sa paghiling sa ICC ng pansamantalang paglaya ng kanyang ama.
Every time merong opportunity na mag-apply ng interim release, si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte ay gagawin yon.
Inalala rin ni Davao City 1st District Representative Paulo Duterte ang pag-aresto sa ama. Paraan nila sa kanila, ito ang araw kung kailan kinuha si Duterte sa kanyang mga anak at apo at kung kailan ipinahiya umano ang dating Pangulo sa buong mundo. Ang iba pang taga-suporta ng dating Pangulo sa Korte Suprema sa Maynila nagtungo. Sigaw nila, desisyonan na ang habeas corpus petition ng mga anak ni Duterte na humihiling na utusan ng gobyerno na pauwiin ang kanilang ama.
Hindi naman namin kinikilala yung ICC. Kami lahat, lalo na ako. Pilipinas to, dapat hindi nga dinala doon si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Inalala rin ni Senator
Ako ito lang sa akin. Dapat talaga, kumilos na ang Supreme Court dito. So dinala na po ito, 1 taon na. And pagkakaalam ko ito, this is not the first time na kinalampag ang Supreme Court. Kaya nga umuugong yung usapin na malapit nang makauwi si PRRD. Dahil ako naniniwala ako, bagamat minsan nakakasama ng loob na parang tila ang bagal kumilos ng Supreme Court. Pero pagpatuloy nakakalampagin ng Supreme Court. Ang Supreme Court po, ang sa tingin ko ay nananatiling hindi biased. They will decide base sa batas. At very confident ako, very confident ang taong bayan. Kaya nga umuugong itong malapit na makauwi si PRRD. Pag batas ang pag-uusapan at hindi politika, makakauwi si PRRD. I-produce yung habeas corpus, i-produce si PRRD dito sa Pilipinas, hingin po ito ng Supreme Court. Ngayon, kung papayag si Bongbong Marcos or hindi, saka na natin pag-usapan yun. Ang importante, dapat desisyonan ito ng Supreme Court. Alam naman natin dahil may issue si Bongbong Marcos na hindi sumusunod sa korte. Remember, apakalaki ng utang niya sa estate tax. Final and executory po yun. Dinisisyonan na ng Supreme Court. Bilyon po iyon. Bakit ko alam? Dinidiscuss ko po yun nung campaign period. Hindi po yung desisyon ng mga Duterte. Desisyon po ng korte yun. Hindi bayad na estate tax. Ngayon, hindi na pinag-uusapan. Muli po, kinakalampag ang Supreme Court. Mag-decide na kayo ng naaayon sa makatao at higit sa lahat sa batas. Walang pinapanigan. Hindi po namin hihilingin. Kung gusto ninyong panigan ang mga Aquino, okay lang, so be it. Ang sa atin lang, walang kulay, sundin ang batas. Sigurado, mapapauwi si PRRD.
Dr. Bongo ang pag-aresto kay Duterte sa isang privileged speech sa Senado. Si Go ay isa sa mga inaakusahan sa ICC na co-perpetrator umano ni Duterte.
We must ensure that what happened to former President Duterte should never happen again to anyone, no Filipino, regardless of position, influence, or political affiliation.
Sakto. Tama yung sinasabi ni Bongo. Yan yung sinasabi natin. Na dapat panagutin ni BP Sara pag upo niya. Dahil kung hindi, magpapaulit-ulit yan. Once and for all, itigil na natin na namimigay ng kababayan nating kalaban sa politika sa ibang bansa. Tigilan na natin yung nananamantala dyan sa airport. Dyan na nagpupunta yung patayan sa airport eh. Dyan nagsisimula yung kidnapping sa airport.
Should ever feel that the legal processes meant to protect our people can be set aside or disregarded.
Nagdaos din ng misa at programa ang
Huwag na itong mga ito. Tingnan nyo po ito. Tingnan nyo po itong post ni Greco Bellica. Shinare niya yung post ni Bongbong Marcos noong 2016. Sabi niya, "Salamat sa aking matalik na kaibigan na si Rody Duterte. Ito ang tunay na walang iwanan." Ikaw iniwan mo si PRRD. Ganyan po katraidor yung Bongbong Marcos. Kaya kayo na nasa side niya. Napakadelikado nung ginagawa ng Dilawan. Yung kain-suka sila. It's only a matter of time. Hindi po tanungan dito kung mangyayari o hindi. Ito ay mangyayari at mangyayari. Na ang Dilawan at Pula, pag nagkainan sila ng suka nila, sila mag-aaway din in the future. Bakit? Traidor yan si Bongbong Marcos. Sa kanya nanggaling matalik na kaibigan. Tanungin ko kayo, meron na ba kayong pinakidnap na matalik na kaibigan? Anong klase kang kaibigan? Anong klase kang matalik na kaibigan kung nagpapakidnap ka? Kaya ayoko yung mga ganito eh. Yung ay mahal ko yan, ay gusto ko yan, ay matalik na kaibigan ko yan. Puro feelings. Depende sa gamit. Pag tapos na yung gamit at balagit ka na at nasasapawan ka na, uso yan sa mga kakaibigan. Pag nasasapawan, negatibo ang lumalabas. Eto lang, hindi lang negatibo. Illegal pa ang ginawa. Isa pa po ito na dahilan kaya ako'y naniniwala hindi na rin magtatagal makakalaya na rin si PRRD. Kasi, alam mo, itong si PRRD, pinalibing yung tatay ni Bongbong Marcos sa libingan ng bayani. Ang tagal po niyan. Ilang presidente na po ang dumating, ang dumaan. Walang pumayag na ipalibing si Marcos Sr. sa libingan ng bayani. Pero si PRRD ginawa niya ng paraan. Tapos, gaganyanin ni Bongbong Marcos. Ako naniniwala sa hustisya ng langit. Na pag yung gumawa sa'yo ng mabuti, sinuklian mo ng pangit, grabe. Grabe ang sumpa at problemang kakaharapin mo. Mag-iingat po tayo ha. Ito ay paalala lang sa ating mga kaibigan, sa ating mga manunood. Na pagka merong mga tumulong sa atin at ginawan tayo ng maganda, we make sure na susuklian natin ng kabutihan, hindi kasamaan. Dahil hindi napanig sa'yo ang langit, hindi napanig ang Diyos sa'yo. Pag yung gumawa sa atin ng kabutihan ay sinuklian natin ng kasamaan, it will only take a matter of time bago ka singilin ng kalokohan mo. Ingat po. Hayaan po si Bongbong Marcos. At hindi ko alam hanggang kailan siya tatagal sa power. Reckoning will come soon. Sisingilin siya. Lahat po tayo makakapanood niyan. Kung kailan sisingilin ng tadhana itong mga Marcos.
Kaya naman anong masasabi mo sa balitang ito? Kung mayroon kang hinaing at komento ay mag-comment ka lamang sa ibaba ng videong ito. Maraming salamat.